I'm never gonna see Nick again. You leave him alone, you head straight towards death.
At the second half of this new season, we find ourselves split up as a group. So we've got kind of different alliances starting to form, different relationships starting to develop, and that brings a whole new kind of dynamic to everything.
Everything has been compromised. The plans that we've had are now kaput, and we're sort of like swirling in the universe right now, trying to find our bearings and find the true north again, which there is none.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, especially by the second half of this season, our characters have just lost a lot.
Yeah.
Like, you've lost the love of your life.
I just lost all the plans that I've had.
Yeah, all the plans that you were so sure about too.
Yeah.
You were our security.
And having the responsibility for, you know, 7 other people and have 7 other needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then Madison has really, she's lost Nick and she's lost Travis, and Ophelia's lost her father. Yeah. Especially, this is from our group, but then, you know, the others as well, they've lost a lot too. And it's taken a real hit to the family. I think what's interesting though is my character, Alicia, is one of the few that hasn't lost as much in that very moment, and so she's starting to realize her potential as like a leader maybe, and seeing her having to grow up, being forced to grow up very quickly and take a little bit more control and responsibility.
And everyone is being challenged right now to go to a different place than where we started, where we began. Just like you're saying, you're watching the growing of a girl into a fierce woman, you know, and watching everyone's journey and happening really quickly. This is still, what, about a month and a half in to the fall of civilization.
For Alicia, I think there are 2 main challenges and changes that are happening with her. There is her coming into herself and becoming more of a strong individual and a strong equal. She's no longer treated as a child, and she doesn't want to be treated as a child. She wants to be an adult and is forced to become an adult. And so we're seeing her go from being a girl to a young woman, and that's a really exciting change, especially for me to try and translate to audiences. But then also there's an interesting dynamic happening with Alicia and Madison, mother and daughter, and I think that's a very interesting and dynamic. The 2 of them have had a lot of tension boiling for a long time, mainly over kind of her allegiance to Nick and always trying to find him and always trying to go after him. And this is the first time now he's not around, and Alicia's really trying to find where her and her mother can find a balance, but that's proving a little bit tricky. Yeah.
And also for Victor Strand, he's someone who I believe has been really about his own interests in many ways, really much more of a loner. And now I think the challenge is he's brought these 7 people along with him, and now this compound has been compromised, and he's and everything that his hopes and dreams of how he's going to make it through and this apocalypse has now gone kaput. So now he's really in a very precarious place where he realizes possibly that he needs people in a different way. In a way that he's never wanted to need people. And because I guess he's realizing he can't really survive and do this on his own.
Strand's becoming a softie.
Strand may be becoming a softie, maybe he just needs a little bit of the soft touch to balance that hard edge he has to make him a stronger person to survive. Yeah. You know what I mean? But I think that's for all of our characters in some way. I feel like we're possibly picking up tools that we need, we have to, in order to survive, or you won't.
For me, the hardest thing is playing a teenager, actually, which sounds really...
Because she's 56 years old.
Because I'm actually really old. It's weird, I know. It's got a lot of Botox.
You look amazing.
Thank you. Botox. No, I'm joking.
No, she doesn't. Look at this skin. Look at this.
But it's definitely playing a teenager, which is strange because I think it's trying to go against stereotypes because a teenager is so quickly boxed in and already has so many predetermined characteristics like being sassy or being irritable, angsty, quippy, obnoxious. Like there are so many characteristics predefined for a teenager, and it's hard because you want to let that character be entitled to all those characteristics because that's kind of part of their growing, and be free to make mistakes. But I also needed to try and make sure that she was feeling three-dimensional and feeling really like her fears, her worries, her emotions were truly real and justified, because of course they are. She's a human being, but I think it's hard sometimes to not make sure to fit into that archetype.
And the hardest part for me actually is playing off of Alycia Debnam-Carey because she's a really hard person to work with. Not at all.
Better than you.
She is this woman is a dream. She's actually a dream to work with, and we have a dream cast that we're all very.
We've got a dream.
It's a generous group of people. But the hardest thing to honestly work, I think, for my character, I'm sort of I have a lot of humor, which is great but it's gallows humor. I consider myself pretty much a lighthearted human being, and very chill, very relaxed. And I'm kind of a hard, a hard, steely person. You're like, no, Colman, you're hard. No, you know what I mean. As you can tell, we laugh a lot on set.
Yeah.
But sometimes we're playing such high stakes at all times. To maintain that, a lot of times, I mean, it takes a tremendous amounts of energy.
That's true.
You know what I mean? We're playing such high stakes at every single moment. And the moment you think you have a moment to, relax or something with a character, of course something is about to happen.
Yeah, and it becomes a very slippery slope too. The moment you think you can relax, then it's like, oh no, I'm getting silly now, and this is not a silly scene.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Into outer space.
It doesn't get much crazier than that.
Exactly. I think we should find a spaceship or something.
I was gonna go with something more like the zoo. That'd be weird.
Whoa.
Weird, right?
That's actually pretty cool.
Cool.
Because you wonder what happened to the animals. I mean, do the animals turn into the infected?
I don't think so. So maybe it's not that crazy.
You never know.
Who knows?
You never know. Well, you know what I think? Immediately, I think, I think it's because it's based on, they're thinking about The Walking Dead, the mothership. And I think that it's important for people to watch our show and know that it's a companion series. We're not in any way trying to be The Walking Dead. I think that would be a detriment to everyone.
Yeah, we wanted to differentiate it.
Yeah, we're a family drama.
Exactly, we're really a family drama.
With a few zombies that are
like
annoying.
Here and there. Yeah, I know, I completely agree. I think we really tried to differentiate the two. And that's kind of what I like about it as well.
Yeah.
And I think if you're accepting of a little bit of a slower pace and a little less gore and blood, you realize it is quite a different
it's
show.
more character relationship.
And I think also it's early on too still. The Walking Dead, they're on their 6th season. So I think their timeline is now up to maybe 2 years, whereas for us, these characters are still coming to terms with it. They're still...
We don't have our superhero gear
No,
yet.
the Walking Dead characters are very much almost superheroes or action heroes.
Yeah.
And I'm interested to see how long it will take for ours to get there, or if we ever get to a place like that. But for now, I think it's a little bit more subtle. I mean, I just want Rick Grimes to come out over. That would be super cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I think Glenn.
Oh, I love Glenn.
Yeah. Oh, now she's got to change it. Now she wants Glenn.
No, I think you get...
I'm going to cross over with Glenn.
This is a test. We will outlast death.
Not everything can be about death.
I'm not like everybody else.